Hey, we're here for another episode with MJ. What's up, MJ?
What up, though?
Hey, you know what I was thinking? Like, what's going on with Detroit? Like, of course, they're not going to make it into the playoffs and the play-in not this season, but like they traded off Bogdanovich, they traded off a couple other players, Marvin Bagley. What do you see them doing in the near future?
Continuing to develop who we already have. Like right now, our Star Thompson has been getting more minutes. Hell, he's been starting again. Um, and I like Fontecchio. He's going to be an important piece going forward. So his development, Duran's development. I mean, it's just the development. Now, I'm gonna say that about everybody. Like we're a young team, so I think we're the youngest team in the league. So it's pretty much all about development for us. And I don't. We might not see it this season. I mean, we've seen K's development, but we might not see, the development of like I don't know what Monty's doing with Ivy, or you know, because Ivy was better last season than he was this season. Um, but for like Duran, Thompson, hopefully Wiseman, um, we're looking at development. That's really it. Like I think K already has it. Like he got it. It's just a matter of putting high IQ players around him. We need to get some really high IQ vets. It would be nice if we can clone Chris Paul and just instill his thought process into like a brain that sits in a locker room that speaks.
That's
um,
interesting.
and sit him in the film room, sit the brain in the field in the film room. And yes, I am thinking about the Ninja Turtles brain or whatever brain that is part of whatever comic book that
That's
that
funny.
could sit somewhere. I'm thinking of a brain with like some contraption in his head. I think that's Ninja Turtles, but we need the ability to have someone to be able to teach the other players the angles, like I forgot who came over and told K not to jump off 2 feet. You know what I mean? Like after a
Yeah.
trade, I forgot who it was after a trade, but like don't jump off 2 feet because they know you're gonna do this and that. Like we need that. We need someone to teach them the little intricacies of the game, and then from that point, basically just push them on to winning ways. And I don't really have nothing more on at least in that type of
So
like
the coaching staff needs to change.
explanation. Say that.
So you think the coaching staff needs to change?
Um, if we start off next season and we not 12-8, yes.
I mean, y'all didn't start off that this year. It's like that. So why not change in the
No,
offseason so you can have a fresh start?
I mean, I would. If I could right now, I would tell Monty to come up since he's making so much. They don't want to just fire him after paying him that much. Okay, you and Casey swap. Let's see what's up. Like, I would do that because Casey's a good coach as well. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Casey's not even
a,
on the
a
team.
lot of people have pointed out that Monty hasn't succeeded without Chris Paul. So, but I will also note that even though it was the bubble, but the Suns went 8-0 in the bubble,
Well, I mean, you got
if I'm
Dan
not
Burke.
mistaken.
Dan Burke is a great
But that's 4 years ago.
developmental coach.
Who?
Dan Burke.
Yeah.
He's a good developmental coach. Steven Silas, I think, is a player's coach. Um, I think he's more with the cohesiveness of a team chemistry type thing. Brian Randall, I don't know too much about him as a coach. Mark Bryan. Mark Bryan, I have heard some good things about his offensive scheming and this that, and the other. I don't know. I just think that your coaching staff doesn't have any how do you say like powerhouse like you. If Casey did come there, I think it probably would help.
He already here. He upstairs.
Yeah, he upstairs, but he's not helping down below. What's up with the upstairs too? Let's talk about that. What's going on with the powers that be? They just need
That I don't know. That's
like,
hard to determine because people were calling for Weaver to be fired. People are calling for Tom Gore to sell the team. People are calling for Monty to be put out, but I mean, we don't know. Like it just is what it is right now.
so if they were to keep like this offseason, if they were to keep 10 players from this roster, it'd be
Who
what?
are they?
Jaden Duran, Cade Cunningham, uh
Cade, Ivy, Doran, Thompson,
Ivy Durant
Grimes,
and James Wiseman.
Fontecchio. No, I don't care. No.
You ain't tripping about James Hunt Wiseman.
I would actually keep. Who did we get from the Knicks? Uh, uh, uh.
Quentin Grimes.
No, not just Grimes, but why is his name not coming to me?
Uh,
Shooter. They buried him in New York. I keep him, and then that might be it. I can't give you 10.
I mean, Marcus Sasser is
Oh wait, Marcus Sasser. Hold
Marcus
on, that's
Sasser is a
eight.
really good guy.
Sasser.
Isaiah Stewart.
Oh, Isaiah. Okay, what I'm on? What I'm on
I
right
don't
now?
know what you on right now.
Yeah, those nine, and beyond that, I'm not. I'm not.
So
No,
you're not
we need
keeping
something
Evan
else.
Fournier.
That's who it is, Evan Fournier. I would want to. It depends on what his contract is, but we got money anyway, so I'll consider keeping him because he's a shooter. He probably more of a shooter than everybody we named, everybody aforementioned. Like I can't think of. I mean, other than Fontecchio, like he's good, and I think they're trying to force him to do some stuff with the ball in his hands, and I think that'll develop and become a thing next season. Um,
He's a good coming up player.
I honestly wish we let Ivy push the ball because we need him to control the pace. K can trail. K can be secondary, or he could be the 1A. They could be 1 and 1A with the ball. And K is great catching shooting. He's great getting the ball while moving. And we aren't actually like doing anything that, you know what I mean, like helps K to do more than what he does. Like we know he can score on his own.
Yeah, but
But to get him off the ball, to get somebody like chasing after him, that does nothing but create more playmaking opportunities. And we don't operate in that manner.
really don't.
We could, but then
Definitely.
again, if Ivy's not hitting his threes at a certain clip, if Isaiah Stewart ain't making his three, if Duran ain't making, he don't shoot threes. Um, if Fournier is not out there, if Fontecchio isn't out there, but if they both are and they're not hitting shots, then what play are we gonna make? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the Pistons are in a place that's like indescribable almost.
it is.
Um, we just have to watch and see. You know what I mean? Like that's just where I'm at with it. Like we just gotta watch and see. And I I don't know, like front office wise what we can do. Like I don't even, I wanted money. So I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, you know, I was just I like I'm just all the way out on him. I'm not, but I am to a certain extent because of his bench rotations and stuff like that. But then again, how much does that have to do with us being young? You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like, what do you have to work with if you have nothing to work with? You got coaches that are being hired like Doc Rivers, who inherits Giannis and Dame. Let's say we had Doc Rivers already, and we've been going through this. And then Monty Williams went over there, and then suddenly now, since the All Star break, they're like 5-0. They're the first. They're number one ranked in defense. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like things that people were complaining and crying about. You actually got a chance to like put your thumbprint on things. They had a chance to sit down, really understand whatever. If they went through film, whatever they did, it's adjusting. And I can't say Monty trash because who does he have that's a coach on the floor? A lot of coaches that win, they either have really great players or they have great players that are also coaches on the floor that are voices on the floor. What's Golden State without Draymond? Was Phil Jackson Lakers without Kobe? Was uh, Phil Jackson without Jordan? They're just Eastern Conference Finals team. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah, I
we
get
can
what
we can sit up here and was Monty Williams without Chris Paul so far? And um, like Doc Rivers said, Giannis reminds me of KG, but I wish he talked as much as KG. Why? Because you're putting people in their places that they're supposed to be on defense. You are I'm sure KG was telling him like, "Oh, go ahead, shoot that, or look out for this and that, or I'm gonna do this and that, or And when you have coaches or players on the floor that are also orchestrating things, or like maybe extending a play, like by adding their own little piece onto it based on whatever matchup or whatever, like what's the word? Well, I can't think of words today. Whatever advantage you have. Uh, you know what I mean? So who do we have in Detroit that's of the game, been a part of the game that can explain the game? You know what I mean? Like Cade, like he's 3 years, 2 years if you count the year that he's been out. You know what I mean? So
well, Evan Fournier
it's
has been in
it's
this
just
for 11 years.
but who is Evan? He'll tell them a few little things, but
Troy Brown Jr. has
I'm
been.
talking about like a KG, a Kobe, a Chris Paul, a LeBron.
I mean, those
You know what I
those are
mean?
players that came into their skin. They came like that. They just didn't become that. That was in them. So you don't have a player on your squad that could be potentially in them because we don't see it, we don't hear it.
So basically, Detroit needs a vocal leader.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I think they should swing for the fences. I think they should do whatever needs to be done in order to get that player on their squad. If that means trading away three young players or throw some bread at somebody, do so. Either that or they're going to continue to be in this downward spiral.
Yeah,
You have a lot of young talent. You got to consolidate it and bring some people in there that's going to develop those young players so they don't end up being just, first, second round picks that just didn't go nowhere. Lottery picks that didn't go anywhere. That their time in the NBA was wasted away because they were on a team that did not make the big moves to get players to help them.
yeah,
So I mean, if you get rid of uh, a couple key players that you probably would want to keep in order to get a big name in there, not just a big name, but a talker, then do it. Pull that trigger because there's no other way for them. I see for them to get out. We can give Cade 4 more years in this Detroit Pistons uniform, and if he doesn't have the tools to help the team get better, it's going to be for nothing.
yeah. I agree with that.
You have a few rookies that get some PT. Some of them, Marcus Sasser gets some PT. Of course, Asur gets some PT. Um, but I don't see Tosan. He doesn't get a lot of PT. But I mean,
Hey, I got a trade idea. I got a trade idea.
you got a what?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm about to cause chaos. Go ahead and finish your statement.
I'm just saying, like I just think that if you traded James Wiseman and Quentin Grimes and Isaiah Stewart for a big name like a Draymond Green or uh, a player that is that assertive on the court, it would do major things for Detroit.
Yeah,
Major things. When they had Blake Griffin, they played a lot stronger because he had grit. He had that vocal that said, "Hey, let's do this," or "I'm gonna take it this way. You move that way." Blah, 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 blah. So when they got rid of that, it was done. It was
yeah,
done. They started blowing
yeah,
up everything. They got rid
I
of
mean, but
the
those
contract.
players didn't play with this iteration of the team either. So
Right, but they still were on a downward spiral. And like you said in a couple pods before, Blake brought that back, brought that mentality back to just work hard for it, get it, and do whatever needs to be done, do it. These young players don't have that. Troy Brown Jr. been in the league for 5 years. Besides Evan, 40 years, been in the league for 11 years. That's all the depth you have as far as NBA knowledge and strength. Everybody else has been in the league 1 or 2 years.
yeah,
Isaiah's been in for 3 years, but that's it. Flynn, Malachi Flynn has been in for 3 years, but those are those are players that have been in this on this team that have not flourished because they don't have a veteran. They tried
well,
it. They tried it in Bogdanovich. They tried it with Alec. They tried it with a 40-year. They're trying it, but they're not getting those names that need to be out there. You guys got plenty of talent to be a scoring team. You need a team that's going to be uh at the games I've seen in Detroit, they could be kicking somebody's butt, hanging with them right then and there. As soon as the fourth quarter comes, when it comes out of crunch time, when it comes to who's going to take this shot or who's going to do this, that's where they
yeah,
falter.
yeah,
And
I
that's just
agree.
a sign of youth and inexperience. That's it. That doesn't mean that they can't do it. They just don't have the experience to drive a win home.
Right,
8 times they've got a win home, but that's 8 times. For far and few between. Far and few between. So I think, in my opinion, I think they need to trade 3 or 4 players in order to get something worth having. And you got money. So yeah, teams are aware of this. Players are aware of, your budget, your luxury tax, whatever have you. They're aware of that. But what are you willing to give up in order to assure that this team as a whole gets back to the playoffs? At least gets back to the playoffs for right now.
right.
And I think you're gonna have to get rid of a lot of assets and get rid of a lot of key assets like Jaden Ivey,
No, no, I'm not getting
like
rid of Ivy.
like
I'm not getting rid of Ivy.
I'm just saying, what do you
No,
want to do? You just want to
no,
just kill these people's potential.
I'm not getting rid of Ivy though.
So if you could get rid of James or Jaden Ivey and let's say um Isaiah Stewart to bring in a Draymond Green, you wouldn't do it?
No, no, because Draymond has how long?
About a good 5 years.
Especially if he comes here, he's depressed that he's. I mean, well, he'll be home, but he's on a losing team.
Yeah,
Draymond don't show up for losing teams.
that's
We
just
know that.
that's just terrible. I
No,
mean,
I'm just saying he didn't
that's a
show up for his
horrible
own team
mentality.
when they
In
were
order for a team to
when they were a
become,
lottery team and Steph wasn't playing. He didn't show up.
that's horrible. That's a horrible mindset to have.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just using
that's
Draymond Green
the
as a
truth.
as an example of the type of facilitator that a team needs like him. But I'm saying
Yeah,
that's horrible. That's a horrible mentality to have to say, "Oh, I'm gonna lose a team. I'm not gonna go all in."
I mean, if we come out trash,
I mean, not
like
everybody is blessed to come into a team that has a Giannis Antetokounmpo or a Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Joel Embiid. Not teams. Teams aren't blessed to have those fortunes.
right,
Rookies have more of a chance of getting that situation. But if you are willing to say, hey, we need Chris Paul over here. Okay, well, if you're gonna take my guard, I need to take one of your guards. Give me Jaden Ivey. Give me Malachi Flynn.
right.
Give me
Well,
Stanley Udume. Yeah, like I mean, what are you gonna have to be? The team is gonna have to willing to be able to give up something to get a lot of gain. Even though Chris Paul is declining in his, he's gonna be in his 19th year coming up, 20th year maybe. he's gonna be just
Yeah.
there as a voice because he's already injured now, isn't he?
Well, I don't think this is gonna be 20 of year, but yeah,
It's
he
close
gonna
to
beat and
it.
play for a minute.
It's close to it. So I'm saying like he's basically gonna be in there to get the veteran salary to give him. They're gonna give him some bread to be like, hey, I know you're gonna probably get a lot of minutes, but I need you to talk to this team and get this team up.
Right.
Or Patrick Beverly or something like that that's gonna get this team off their tail. Not that they're lazy, not that they're not trying their hardest,
I
but
mean, we need better than Patrick Beverley. We need
I'm just
we
throwing.
need Draymond, Chris Paul. Hell, go get Bronny and make LeBron come here. We need a basketball master. You know what I mean? To for the type of turnaround you speak of, that's what we need.
Yeah,
We can't do that without like for real basketball. Chris Paul will elevate the floor and ceiling like he does everybody. He will unlock things. LeBron would automatically elevate the floor and ceiling. Not to the I don't know if it would be to the extent of Chris Paul because LeBron would make it where you have to do things around him. And then, if you're not doing certain things around him that he needs, then he might trade you.
but you're gonna need to
Draymond,
give up some assets though.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
well,
of
no,
course,
because he's a
you're
free
not gonna
agent
get
if
rid
he
of
want to be.
Cade.
He a free agent if he want to be. So we can go get Bronny. We can literally take our draft pick, whatever how top five it is, go draft Bronny just to be like, yeah. So LeBron, you coming wherever your son at, right? All right, come on. And LeBron come over here, but if I'm the front office, I tell him like I'm not about to sabotage the future of this team for what you think you need right now. I want you to come in here. You know, you was doing the commercials back in the day. You got to go through Detroit. You got to come to Detroit, bro. Like we have, if LeBron James got fused to this team as it is, we might be. Hmm, hmm,
You definitely going to the
hmm.
playoffs if that happens.
We definitely going to the playoffs.
But
And
you know
if
what?
Cade,
Bronny needs to
if
go to
Cade is
the right
Cade,
team.
if Ivy takes another step, if Duran takes the another like if he takes the for real Dwight Howard step, like I'm putting up double doubles every game, damn near, like man, and we got shooters with Cade and Ivy and LeBron and Osar Thompson on defense, like man, this team we don't need to rebuild the
You
rebuild the rebuild is done. We need an
need
impact
restructuring.
player. No, we don't need a restructuring. We
You do
need
need a
a high
restructuring.
IQ player to come in here and teach these boys. I don't know if LeBron cares
Restructure them,
that
yes.
hard. I don't know if Chris Paul is better with the players and being in the film room and teaching them things. I don't know if that's LeBron, Chris Paul, Draymond. Them
But see,
three is the ones I'm looking at.
Bronny shouldn't just go
But
to a
we
team.
probably not getting Chris Paul. We probably not getting Draymond. LeBron is a wild card, and it's unlikely unless we draft Bronny with our pick. So, what do you do?
But Mike, Bronny shouldn't go to a team that just needs his father. Bronny needs to go
I agree with that, but
Bronny needs to go to a
LeBron,
team that needs him.
he just hit 40K. Shout out to LeBron. LeBron wants to make history. He wants to leave marks. He wants to leave things. Oh, LeBron James played with his son. Like, how many
Yeah,
people
but when if
play with their
LeBron
son?
leaves, he's gonna be on a Bronny's gonna be on a rookie contract if he gets drafted or if he doesn't. He's gonna be there
He
for
might he might get another contract.
just leave.
LeBron built to go to 45. The way he going right now, he built to go to 45.
Yeah, but
And really
he
he
wants his
if
son to
if
be
he
able to
wanted
have
to
his
turn
own
into
name.
a defender and a facilitator and then have a back end where he ain't dropping
How much
20 a
PT
game, he could
think
play to
Bronny
he
gonna get?
47. I'm not gonna hold you up. What I see from LeBron, yeah, he could go to he 47. I don't
But
know
how
what
much
his body is gonna say,
but
but just
honestly, on the Detroit Pistons, how much PT is Bronny gonna get with Jaden Ivey and Kate Kenningham?
I mean, he might not get that much, but I mean,
But that's not a good
he
fit
will
for
be
him.
competing with Sasser. He will be competing with Fournier if Fournier falls off a little bit. But if he out here banging shots, Fournier gonna have a role. You know what I mean? So Fournier, Fontecchio, like they're gonna really be valuable. So I mean, hey, like our team is not far off. We're an impact player away.
I mean, that's not a good
If not just development.
Can't do. I can't. That's that's not something that's going to be a good fit for Bronny. He wants his son to be able
Why
to be his
not?
own man
Why
because
not? Where he gonna go
he's
other than
not going to get
Charlotte,
no
where he can go
PT.
play?
He's not
Where
going to
he
get no
gonna go?
PT on that squad.
Where he gonna go other than Charlotte, where he could play?
He
Tell
can
me.
go to Washington. He can go to
Oh
Sacramento.
yeah, sure, Washington. No, Sacramento. No,
He could go to Sacramento.
no, he can't go to Sacramento.
He could go to Sacramento.
No, he can't go to Sacramento.
He can go to Sacramento.
No, he can't go to Sacramento.
He could.
He can't,
It's in California.
and not and get minutes.
He could get minutes for sure.
No, no,
Yeah,
he can't.
they got Monk over there. They got Fox over there. Yeah, they got uh some nice guards out there. But he'll get a lot more PT than he will in Detroit.
I disagree with that because he'll be competing with Sasser, and he
Hey,
might
man,
if he can
he's a rookie.
outplay Sasser or he can do whatever like is required or what's expected or just better than Sasser, they can end up divvying up minutes or they can just end up giving them all to him.
You know,
Even though I love Sasser, Sasser's nice, but if he comes here, he's another year removed from heart surgery. He's just at full
all it
speed.
takes.
He takes that
uh,
next step. If I'm Bronny, I actually stay in college another year or two. But he's got the crutch of his father and the ability to come get on an NBA roster and get full NBA exposure outside of, oh, my dad played for the NBA and I work out with him at the crib. Like, no, you get the whole program, how it goes, the travel,
He
the
get
dealing
nice
with
shit
the
on the
jet lag,
television.
dealing with like you get everything over the course of a whole year. You get yourself up to speed over that whole year. Then you work out that next summer with your dad, plus with the team, plus with whoever else you play with. You done picked up on what like man, it's ways for him to progress. And why not come to Detroit and be under Ivy, be under K, be under LeBron?
Because
You know
K
what I mean?
Ivy ain't nobody to be up under. He doesn't have any.
I
He
mean, but
doesn't have
Ivy got
anything
that
to
speed.
pass on.
He's learning his angles that he needs to attack. He's eventually going to learn his control all the way. You know what I mean? And then that's something that could be passed down. Like, hey man, I I was like bullheaded when I got in the league. Like I thought that the things that I was doing in college would be successful in the NBA, but they wall me off or they find a way to get me where I ain't just going to the rim dunking like I was at Purdue. I ain't just abusing people. I'm not just doing this and that. And I had to figure out a way to do that. I had to figure out how to fit within the confines of my teammates and who I can use to be able to better exploit my game. You know what I mean? Like that's something to be said. Like what LeBron gonna tell him? He been there all his life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people are saying his dad is the GOAT. So to have to try to live up to that but not have no in between, no, you need the in between. You need the person that's 1, 2 years in. You need the person that's 7 years in. You need your dad that's 20 plus years in. You need coaches to tell you because you're not 6'8", 240, 50, 60 like your dad. You know what I mean? Like it's trust. Trust me. It's some stuff that can be passed down to Bronny that will help them uh become better, whether that's Charlotte.
But
Well,
he don't have nobody.
I don't know
If he
who's in
goes to Detroit, he
Washington
don't
that
have
can
anybody
teach
to
him.
learn from.
You said it again.
I said there is only a few players that can bring up a rookie. Ivy's not going to be one of those.
Why is that?
Not going to develop Bronny
I'm just trying to understand why is that.
because he needs to be developed.
I mean, but who's to say that he can't like
I'm saying it.
tell him something
He
that
doesn't
sticks
even have
with him?
he's not built like that just yet. He maybe in about 8 years if
What
he
you
gets
mean he
some.
not built like that, Chuck? If
He's
I had
not
an
built to
experience in my
develop
life,
a
if
player. I
I
mean,
had
he's
an
gonna
experience in my life,
compete
that's
and
like
develop
me
himself.
talking to that's like me being 19 again, telling somebody that's 16, like, oh yeah, I just had a relationship or I just had a situation or I
Ivy's
just
only been in the league for
had this
2 years.
job or I just had something like this, bro. Like do it like this and this and that. like, oh, or not even say do it like this and this and that. I could say, yeah, man, I went through this and this and that, man. It was so tough and this and this and that. All of a sudden, you just got the experience of somebody else that's just a few
But
years
he's
ahead of you,
still losing though.
and
What does he have to pass on?
that don't got nothing to do with
That's
nothing
it.
because we're
There's a
not
lot to do.
necessarily in
If
position to
you
be
still have
winning
a
yet.
losing
You
record and you
can't you
have to
can't
develop the
put that
play
up there.
into
You
a
can't
winning
put that up there.
mentality, you have to develop that winning mentality. That's the whole reason why LeBron left
So
Cleveland to go to
you you
Miami
you
because he
you
had to
pushing the
learn how to
goalpost.
win.
You pushing the goalpost though, because
He had to learn how to win. And
you
Ivy
pushing the
had to learn how
goalpost.
to win too before
You
he could
pushing the
try to pass
goalpost.
a torch that he hasn't even had in his hands yet. Not one time.
You push
What? In the league for 2 years? It's
you
not.
pushing the goalpost.
It's not. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Okay. Well, I think that could be valuable information being passed down to him.
Nah, bro.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it can. Why can't it? Why? Okay, so all right, so let's put this in realistic human terms. Why is it that when you were however old you was, there's a circle of friends that you discuss what you're going through with, and they decide, oh well, I ain't doing that. Why is it that I have a circle of friends where, oh, I'm going through this and this and that, and they would used to be like, oh yeah, well if this ain't like this and this and that, then I ain't. And if this ain't like this and this and that, or if this person ain't like this and this and that, then I ain't. You should. You better than you. Like, come on now. Like
Bro,
the ability
it
to
ain't gonna work.
the ability to give experience to someone really has no age on it.
It does.
It's just an experience
If
at that
you've
time.
always lost, if all you know is the being on a losing team, if you always lost, how can you teach somebody how to win?
What do you? It's not about teaching him how to win. It's teaching
What
him
are you teaching
experience.
them? What are you teaching them? How to fold his socks?
No,
What are you
no,
teaching them
Chuck.
if you're not teaching them how to win?
Well, if it's with Monty, you teaching him how not to be in a damn doghouse because he put Ivy in a doghouse. So what did you go? What did
Exactly.
Ivy go through? What did
So
Ivy go
how
through
what
with?
is
Hold
Ivy
on,
gonna
hold on,
teach
hold
him?
on, hold on, because Ivy was running a team last year after Kate went down. What did Ivy go through to go from running the team with Jalen Duran to being in a damn doghouse the next year? So his experience being in the doghouse for no reason is something that how many players can say that? Kobe, because he wasn't and he gone. Rest in peace, my nigga. Excuse my French. Rest in peace, my bro Kobe. But like, no, I'm just saying, like, how many players got put in the doghouse when they came into the league? How many? How many players that and not saying that Bronny won't get put in the doghouse, but like, come on. Like that's an experience you can like pass down to somebody.
What
I
you
was in the doghouse
why
because
would you want to pass that down?
he wanted me to play better
What
defense. No, it is not about why. It's what you can take from
why
it
would you
and
want
what
to
you can
pass
begin.
that down?
Man,
That's
you're
not
not
gonna
seeing
help
it
you
though.
win
You're not seeing it though.
championships.
You're not seeing it because if you
I'm
come into
definitely
this league, you got to play a certain type of way on defense. If Ivy can tell you, oh, this is what's going to be expected of you if we get LeBron or if we draft you and then we get your father. Monty, well, LeBron ain't gonna probably, LeBron's
because
power is not
basically
gonna
you're
allow
just going after
Bronny
the
to be
LeBron
doghouse.
sweepstakes at this point.
LeBron's power is not gonna allow him to be doghouse. I don't think, but just to be able to pass that type of information down to somebody, because K didn't get doghouse, LeBron didn't get doghouse, John Morant didn't get doghouse, Russ didn't get doghouse, Russell Westbrook. Um, I mean, who got doghoused? The last person outside of
Mike,
Ivy, the only person I can think of is Kobe.
you're making
I
my
mean,
point.
Kaminga,
So what could
Kaminga,
they
but I'm
develop and
not
teach
though. I'm not
Bronny?
because
They just going
you,
for the LeBron sweepstakes.
it's explaining to you
Do you
that
know how many
any
All Star
experience is
MVPs?
good experience, Chuck. How
You
how is it that
know,
I can
you
how is it
know,
that I can have
last
a rapport with people that's
40
my age right
years,
now, listen to their experiences and not
Michael,
have a perspective and a way to potentially approach things
Michael.
that's my age? That means they gotta be 50 in order for me to understand it.
How
No, I'm
many
just being real.
MVPs has there been in the All Star game that were Detroit Pistons in the last 40 years?
MVPs, none.
Two, and they're the same person.
Okay, two. Zeke.
That's it.
Okay,
That should
and
tell
what
you
that
right
mean?
there
What does that
that
mean?
mentality there has to be developed through veteranship, not through youth.
That team wasn't developed through veteranship either. Zeke
That
got
team,
drafted.
that team
Dumars got
was
drafted.
that team was
Lambeer got
rugged.
drafted. Rodman got drafted. I think Bill
All of them,
Lambeer,
yeah.
like, no, that
It
team
took
was
them a
built.
minute to
That
win.
team
It
was
took them a
built. That
minute
team
to
was
win.
built. Go do your history. That
It took
team was
them a
built.
minute
And
to
we
win.
suffered. We suffered early with Zeke.
Yeah,
As
you
great as he
did.
is,
You
we
did.
suffered early. So
You
no,
did.
that's not necessarily no.
And y'all
You
built a
take little
grit.
bits and then
Y'all built
they
a
plugged in.
grit to each
Then when
other.
they acquired the hunger to really, like, I'm tired of losing, and then we acquired some vets along the way, like a um what's the dude Zeke went to school with?
Sally,
No, from
John
Dallas.
Sally was on that squad.
Not Sally.
Lambeer was
Is
on
it?
that
It's not
squad.
Benny. It's not
Y'all
Benny.
started getting pissed
Uh,
off and you started playing
no,
hard.
it's
But
damn.
this,
He's
you are
key
just in
too.
the
He's very
LeBron
key.
sweepstakes. You're not in it to show uh, that his son is going to be able to be a part of this
No, no, we're in it to suddenly turn into a team that's content.
because you're in the LeBron sweepstakes. It's not because you're in the to develop a Bronny type player. You want Bronny because you get LeBron as a consolidation piece. You're not in it because you want Bronny because you have 3 or 4 Bronnies on your team already. That's why it
Yeah.
would be a good fit for Bronny to go to Detroit at
I
all.
mean,
He could go to a
I don't.
Miami.
I
He
disagree
could
with
go
that. I
to
disagree with that.
Magic.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Go
Why not
to
have Bronny come over here and actually be able to be plugged in and make an impact as opposed to going to, like, the
well,
Lakers or something?
he
And y'all
wouldn't get
got
no
D'Angelo.
PT.
Y'all got D'Angelo Russell. He
He
won't
wouldn't
get
get
no
PT
PT. Where?
on
Where?
Detroit. On Detroit.
Here? Yes,
Yeah.
he will. Yes, he will.
How?
What you
How?
mean? How? So
How?
you gonna not play Bronny minutes because Sasser is here, or you gonna not play Bronny in LA because D'Angelo Russell and Spencer Dinwiddie is
I didn't say he should go to
here?
LA.
Answer me that. No, no, answer me that.
I didn't say that he should go to LA. He shouldn't go to LA either.
No, I'm just saying though, like, okay, so
He shouldn't go to
you
LA.
gonna let him you go okay, so what? You want him to go to Washington? You want LeBron James to be a
I'm not
part
thinking about
of
LeBron. I'm thinking about Bronny.
a
I'm thinking about
reclamation project
Bronny.
that is Washington? You want him to go over there and play with Jordan Poole? That's what you want him to
I
do?
want him to go to a team that's gonna allow him to be successful after his dad is
Detroit might
already
be the place.
retired.
Detroit might be the place for real
I
because
gotta be Detroit.
if we got Monty. If Monty is good with the coach on the floor, that will be LeBron. If we
Money's
got LeBron,
okay with a
hold
good
on. Like, I
inherited
don't
team.
understand why you
He
sleeping
did a
on
good
us that
job
hard
on the
though.
Suns because he had
You
Booker
talking
and
about
he
how
had
many
Chris Paul.
MVPs we had in the All-Star game and all that. Why you going
I
down the
brought that up
we
to
won a
show you that
championship in '04.
Detroit ain't had a winning mentality since Zeke.
What? Okay,
Okay.
so you want to talk
Let's
about
just
Philly
agree to
now?
disagree
You want to
right
talk about
now.
Philly now? You want to talk about Philly now?
We'll end this pod right here on that note. We will discuss the Detroit situation
Detroit fans,
on another
please
note.
get at
How
her.
about
I'm
that?
gonna make sure I tag her name.
I'm
Please,
just
please
saying,
get
Bronny's
her.
not a good fit for Detroit.
Bronny is a good fit. He's a good fit.
And that's it and that's all.
Okay.
I think I stopped it.